Hi, my sweet angels, my lovers, my Venusians, my weird ones, my demons, and all those that are in between all of it. Because I'm sure we're all of it, right? Welcome to Stop Hiding in the Shadows, the truth about the fear of perception and being perceived. Okay? I'm a master at living in the shadows. Living in the shadow work, living in the depths, living in the transformation, living in the feelings, in the unseen, in the unsaid, in the psychic realms, in the sensual realms. Welcome to the queen of all those realms. And welcome also to my first YouTube video. So this is me embodying what I'm practicing, what I'm preaching. Now, in this video, I'm going to describe the fear of being perceived, how that's actually a self-hex, how to get over it, and we're also going to go into a little bit of astrology because I'm an astrologer. Okay? All right. So, the fear of being perceived. Like I said, I'm a master at living in the shadows. I'm the master at doing my healing work. A lot of people call me a high priestess because of my gift of alchemizing things. And the way that I can alchemize is to fall back, to draw my energy back, to stay in the mysteries, to study, to not draw attention to me, even when I'm out in public. People have told me that I like literally go invisible when I'm in public. I could turn it on, I could turn it off. I'm the queen of this. Now, I'm also in this place energetically as an intuitive, a psychic, that I've downloaded. A lot of us that have been in the shadows now need to come into the light to be seen because there's a lot of truths we need to share this video. And a lot of us that have been maybe on the stage, have been like really trying to be seen for a long time, need to drop into the shadows to do our healing, to do our integration, to do our feeling, to really drop into the like high priest, high priestess's energy. So there is a flip happening, and if you're finding this video, you're probably being called to step out the shadows. Get out your way, and I'm going to share with you ways to do this, okay? In the most loving, but like, let's get our shit together now because don't waste time. Especially with all these retrogrades while I'm recording. All right, so let's just jump into it. What is the fear of being perceived? The fear of being perceived is the fear of others witnessing you, okay? As children, it's a very natural instinct to want to be seen, to want to be heard, to want to share your gifts. Now, it's also, as adults, a very natural instinct to want to be seen. However, through life experiences, we might have created these protective boundaries and limiting beliefs around being seen. And we're going to cover a bunch of them. Now, what I've noticed with the fear of being seen, some things that come up a lot is the fear of being judged, opinions, and maybe even protection. Okay, so let's go into judgment. Easiest. Only God, the goddess, can judge you. Throw everything out the window. There is no space for people to judge you. They don't know your story. They didn't build your character. They don't know where you come from. And they don't know everything that was sent to destroy you, you conquered and then alchemized to your benefit. They can't judge shit about you. Because guess what? They probably couldn't last one day in your shoes. Not a day. So when you are at that board meeting and there's a fear of being judged for maybe your insight on something, I need you to remember that no one built your character. You built it yourself, and you are a human and you will constantly be building your character. But other people's judgments of you is none of your business at all. Another subject is caring too much about people's opinions. Like, I love that you're a caring person. I'm the most fucking caring person, Venus in Cancer. I love that you care so much. However, caring about strangers' opinions of you is a very dangerous sport because people's opinions change like this. And also, remember, a lot of people are untrue to themselves and they lie to themselves about how they feel. And so, because they are also very confused about how they feel, why would you care about their opinions of you in that moment? Because if someone is unsure of how they feel, their opinions of you are going to change moment to moment all the time. So putting your value, putting your worth, putting your message, putting your opportunities in the hands of strangers, not even strangers, but even loved ones, about their opinions of you, it can really prevent your momentum. It can prevent your success. It can prevent so much growth, your luck, your abundance, because there's this feeling of, oh, what will people say of me if I do this thing? What will people say of me if I'm in this relationship? What will people say of me if I wear this dress? What will people think of me if I don't pursue this major or if I don't pursue this career? Who cares? Their opinions of you are going to change in an hour. What is more important is how you feel, because how you feel is truly from your heart. It's for your life and it's for your purpose. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, it's only you and you. People are going to come in and out of your life. So it's important to not internalize people's opinions of you or the fear of having an opinion, because one day you'll be a villain, the next day you're going to be a hero, and all of it was important for you, for them. You're a character in someone's story. That's a gift to me. I'm like, great, I was in your story. Amazing. And we're going to keep it moving. So release the fear of being judged. Release the fear of someone's opinions of you. It's not serving you at all. It's not paying your bills. And then the final thing is to release the fear of protection. Now, this goes more along the lines of, like, if you're into magic or witchcraft, or if you come from cultures where there's Nazar, evil eye, right? Like, I have really experienced it within my life and my family's life, where we have seen the evil eye do really extreme things to people. So, as a form of protection, we have shielded ourselves. However, I'm here to say that the timeline of your success, how your life unfolds, should not be determined on how other people are going to put their energy onto you. It should not. The expiration date of your success, of who you are, that's all on you. That's not on anyone else. However, there are things that we can do magically to protect ourselves. Okay, one of them is to put the spell over yourself, that any and all energy directed at me will be cleansed and cleared through light and used for my highest good and my highest benefit, right? You can even put it towards a specific project or focus or intention that you have, right? So any energy that comes your way is going to be used for your benefit, because we know all thoughts, all words have energy and imprint. So if people are going to be talking about you because they're a fan, or people are going to be thinking about you because they're obsessed and they love that energy, even though they're saying that they don't, bring it in, baby. Use it for your benefit. Use it for your highest good. Use it for your intentions. Because I find that when we resist things, it actually makes it stronger, and it makes it like heavier, and it makes it almost like self-prophesizing. So the fear of judgment, we don't care. The fear of other people's opinions, we don't care. The fear of, like, protecting ourselves, there is no fear. We protect ourselves always and forever. And we move in that way as well. Now that we got those things out of the way, let's talk about the dangers of hiding in the shadows for too long, okay? Now, this can mean that we miss out on opportunities because we're so in this cycle of healing. I need to be better. I need to work on myself. I'm not ready for love, or like, I'm not ready for this job. It has this imposter syndrome. It has this energy of perfectionism, where that's not true. You can heal while you're in love. You can do the thing while you're scared. You can share the truth even though it's not perfect. Right now, we are in an era where we're waking up out of a spell of perfectionism and self-hatred. And we're entering into this era where people really want to see folks share their journey, especially if they're at that sticky part of their journey. So share your process, share who you are. It doesn't have to be a performance. If anything, again, those that are in the shadows that are starting to come out and to be seen, you're just going to be loved up on even more. God is willing. Because this is the energy of being humble, of being wise, but also like wanting to share things from a place of love versus a place of needing attention or approval, right? And that can come sometimes when you're always being seen. It could be this self-seeking energy of needing to be validated from the external world because we've developed that instinct. Whereas when you come out from the shadows, you're generating that from within yourself, that you don't really need that validation. You're just saying the truth. And people are resonating and it's hitting, or it's not. And we're like, let's keep it moving, right? So it's important that we do not miss out on opportunities because we are fearful of being perceived. Know that your truth right now is so valuable and necessary and is the medicine and the honey that we need right now. And we need to see you. Another thing about the dangers of being in the shadow is emotional and mental turmoil, anxiety. This can come from feeling like there's just so much truth in our throat chakra. We see our visions here, but they're not happening. And it's because we're putting all these belief systems about being perceived and being judged and critiqued and opinions and fear and all this, right? So because of that, there can be so many brilliant thoughts in your amazing mind, but you're not releasing them into the world. Your health could go a certain way. So it is so important to give yourself permission to share, to express, because expression is release. It's letting go. It could be expression about heartache. It could be expression about triumph. It could be expression about betrayal. Whatever it is, express it. Don't hold it in, so that way you don't stay in the past. You gotta stay in the moment and keep it moving in the future. Cool. And also, the dangers of in the shadows is that when we believe that our message, our beauty, our power needs to be concealed, we will constantly put ourselves in job situations, love situations, friend dynamics that affirm this belief system. I feel like I don't have to go into that more, but let's talk about it. If you were in a partnership where you feel as though you need to be shielded from the world, you can attract in really possessive people that are trying to possess your light and trying to protect you from the world, right? Because there's this energy that I need to be protected because I'm not safe. That's the energy of being perceived. There can also be the fear perhaps around like a work situation, right? Where you have just this boss who is so hypercritical of you and needs you to be perfect. And this is because maybe you have thought, I need to be perfect to be valuable. So you're going to have a boss that mirrors that energy until you say, enough. I don't need to be perfect to get paid this amount. I actually can make more money doing less and sharing myself in a more authentic way that is in flow. Because I'm not afraid of being perceived and putting myself out there and sharing my gifts and my talents and putting my trust also in that my truth is really valuable at this moment. And even when you're doing that, you might notice that your boss changes because there's no longer this energetic contract that the boss needs to tell you that you are not valuable or that you need to work yourself to the bone because they could feel you pulling back your energy and drawing it into something else. Yes? Yes. Okay. Now, the final thing that I really want to hit home is that when we step into the light, we come out of the shadows, we are allowing ourselves to be authentic. And I always talk about authenticity all the time, but when we're authentic, we're giving ourselves permission to be whole and to not have to compartmentalize any of ourselves. You don't have to have the perfect hair right now. You don't have to have the perfect message, the perfect delivery. There is no such thing as perfection. And we now enter into this place of wholeness that allows other people to see themselves and to connect and to resonate on a very energetic level, which is pure. And when you're coming from a pure place, or you're coming not even from a pure place, from a place of learning and wanting to connect, other people will also see that and it'll resonate. Because vibration, baby, it doesn't lie. The mind can lie. The feelings sometimes, they can lie because they're informed by so many other experiences. But vibes don't ever fucking lie. Ever lie. And don't you forget about that. When you are sharing from a place of your truth, they won't lie. Now, another benefit of stepping into the light is the freedom that comes with not caring about unnecessary shit. Your health gets better, your workflow gets better, your relationships get better, your confidence increases because, again, your value is no longer dependent on the outside or the external opinions of who you are. Instead, you become the creator of your experience versus other people's opinions of you. The comment section doesn't determine your worth or your value, the success of your video. Your partner's maybe impulsive, reactionary, like words does not influence your value or your worth. The mean thing that your father said when you were like 5 years old does not matter to your value or your worth. What matters is what you feel and think of yourself. And that freedom that comes from that, baby, you're invincible. Invincible. You allow yourself to bloom. You allow yourself to be magnetic. You allow yourself to have no limits to what you can create, because all your care has been put in on yourself to be your best self, to understand yourself from the inside out and not allow anyone else to dictate your story besides you. And one of my favorites is building more stronger, honest, and like clear relationships, romantically, familial, business, friendship. When I started really allowing myself to be seen, to be like felt, because I'm a deep person. I've always been a deep person. I've always been an intense person, a funny person, like just wild energy. When I allowed myself to be this and not try to fit a character in someone's story or try to fit an image, the cool girl, the detached girl, the nerdy girl, when I just allowed myself to be, I attracted in friends that wanted that from me and that were also inspired to be themselves. And now we're just like these wild witches that are just running things, right? Or I then started noticing that I didn't feel connected anymore to frenemies, or I didn't feel connected anymore to people that were very in like fearful states. It wasn't at a place of hate, but I grew out of that because I allowed myself to be free and build stronger, more authentic connections of love, prosperity, health, and like celebration. People who actually authentically wanted me to thrive. I also saw beautiful developments within my family connections, right? I'm a big fan of never write anybody off, because we don't want people to change if we're not changing on the inside. So as I went inside and I stopped caring about what family members said about me in the past, or how they thought about me in the past, or the falling outs that we had in the past, or what they did, but instead I started to go inside and I started to release that hurt and that harm. And I started to reframe the story and started to go inside and care about how I felt in the present moment, how I wanted to feel in the future. And I also forgave. And I also told them, like, I don't hold you to it in the past. That was on you in the past, but I know that you can do better. Speaking that on someone gives them the opportunity to try. And when someone has that opportunity to try, that growth mindset, it just transforms someone from the inside out. You whisper like beauty and love and power over them, right? But obviously, never stay in toxic environments or things that are really detrimental to your mental or your emotional health. Please separate yourself from that so you can go heal. But when you're in a safe place where you can have that healing, that connection, I feel like it always works to one's benefit, especially if it's family that you want to release that karma, whatever it is, or someone that you want to release that karma with. I feel like it's very healthy. And what we also desire is like amazing business and romantic relationships. When we're in this place of not being afraid to be perceived, but all of us, like, I want my business partner to like just love everything about me, which I've been able to attract. It's like anything that I do, it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's bug out. Oh my gosh, that's a brilliant idea. You sound really fucking wild right now, but I want to create on that. Or in love, loving every part of me and me loving every part of them, to really witness versus to assume. That to me is freedom, is no fear. No fear of oneself. No fear of how other people are going to receive you, but really opening up the net that people want to receive you because they want to receive more of themselves. And the more that they receive themselves, I can do it. And it's just this mirroring effect of acceptance ultimately. So the fear of living in the shadows is, I feel like, the fear of not being accepted. But as we accept ourselves, other people will accept us. It'll be a domino effect. Now, the astrology. How do you get over your fear of being perceived? Something that I found has been really helpful is Venus and Mars. Okay. The two lovers. Now, your Venus sign will tell you where your heart is at, right? It'll tell you your desires. It'll tell you what you're just naturally really good at giving and providing. And sometimes it could give you the ick. When I found out my Venus was in Cancer, I was like, no, 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 this is bad for the brands. All my Scorpio and Capricorn and Gemini, stellium and all of that. And then you tell me about Venus in Cancer? No, no, no. This is tropical too, right? So once I got over the ick of my Venus in Cancer, and I was like, actually, you know what? My ability to be so empathic, so compassionate, so understanding to not let the past or people's shadows dictate how deeply I can love, and not getting jaded by other people's characters, but just having stronger boundaries and learning how to alchemize things faster and learning how to remove myself from situations quicker. By learning all of that about myself, it allowed me to want to connect with more people who had that love about them, that love being sensitive and intuitive. And I no longer pushed it away, and I no longer saw crying as weak, or I no longer saw my feminine energy as weak, but instead I embraced it. And as I embraced more parts of that, I embraced my coven, my community, my lovers, my family, my business got better. It's all about this energy of acceptance. So your Venus sign is the part of you, it's the part of your heart that you do need to accept and do need to honor. Then your Mars can just be like, that's the energy we need to break through shit really quickly. So with your Mars sign, understand what motivates you and gives you that drive, that purpose. And so with my Mars and Leo, it really is this energy of, and it's in my 10th house, 10th house cusp, it really is that energy of, I need to share things from a place of my heart, my Venus. That Mars energy is when I feel that inspired action to go and to lead, to teach, to be perceived. That's when I feel my most authentic, and I feel my safest, and I feel my rawest, and I feel my best. So that Mars sign gives us that masculine energy to make a choice, to go for it, and to strike like an assassin. Don't think about it. Just move forward and just allow yourself to know that your instincts are telling you the next steps of how to get out of the shadows. And if you're coming out of the shadows and it's not really quite clear about what purpose you have or where the future direction of X, Y, and Z is at, follow your Mars energy, because your Mars energy is going to tell you where to put your bow and arrow and where to go forward. You'll feel it in yourself. Even if the logic, even if the emotions kind of pull you in a different direction, your Mars will tell you, this is where I need to go, right? But also stay true to your Venus. Stay true to those, that truth of your heart, because whatever has been put on your heart can be in your reality. All right. So I pray this was so helpful. I love you very, very much. And get out here, be seen, be perceived. We need you. Love you. Bye bye.